Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ryan Awesome, and welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Now, before we get into the show, first off, man, if you haven't done this already, man, what are you waiting for, man? Hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you're the first ones to know when my next video will come out because I'm here each and every single week. So make sure you hit the thumbs up if you haven't already. Hit the thumbs up. And if you're new here, hit the subscribe button. And then next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. You click on that bell. And when you click on that bell, you'll be the first ones to know when my next video is uploaded. And one last thing. Don't forget to be awesome. So yeah, don't forget to be awesome. And yeah, man, sit back, chillax, grab something to eat, grab something to drink because you're watching the Ryan Awesome Show. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ryan Awesome, and welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Now today on the Ryan Awesome Show, we'll be talking about AEW Dynamite for October the 23rd, 2021. And also, man, on the Ryan Awesome Show, we'll be talking about Impact Wrestling, Bound for Glory 2021. So yeah, man, this is going to be a fuse show. So I'm going to be talking about AEW Dynamite from the 23rd last night. I'm also be talking about Bound for Glory. That was last night as well. Now, I'm going to start off with AEW Dynamite first, man. Dynamite, it was a good show. I enjoyed the Bryan Danielson and Dustin Rhodes match. I thought it was a really great tournament match, man. Great start of a tournament, and great start of the show. Great match to start off the show, rather. And yeah, man, both of these guys, man, I love the intensity too. I love the intensity in the match. Dustin Rhodes, hard fought victory for Bryan Danielson, man, because Dustin Rhodes, he is no slouch in the ring. And so yeah, man, so I thought these guys had a great match, man. They had a great match last night. And yeah, man, the Malachi Black and Cody Rhodes match was really good for the main event, part 3. Now, the only thing I didn't like was the outcome, man. I didn't like Cody Rhodes going over Malachi Black. I thought Black should have won that match. He should have won that match. And the match should have already been over at 2, since Black got his second victory. But, still a great match. Still a great match, even though I didn't agree with the outcome with Black winning. I mean, with Cody winning. Didn't agree with it. But yeah, still a great match, man. Still a great main event match. But yeah, man, and also we had the TBS. We had the start of the TBS Women's Championship Tournament Eliminator match last night. And so yeah, man. So yeah, that's all that happened for Dynamite, man. And of course, MJF and Darby Allin, they have their feud going on as well. So they set up this show for next week. So I thought they did a really great job at setting up for next week's show. And so yeah, man. So yeah, that was pretty much it with Dynamite, bro. And so yeah, man, I say this in my intro all the time. If you haven't done this already, man, hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, if you're watching the Ryan Awesome Show for the first time ever, hit that subscribe button. And then right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you're the first ones to know when my next video is uploaded, because I am here each and every single week, man. I'm here on Wednesdays for AEW Dynamite, Thursdays for Impact Wrestling, Fridays for AEW Rampage, and Saturdays and Sundays are for WWE, AEW, and Impact Wrestling pay-per-views, man. So I'm here. And so yeah, man. So yeah, for Dynamite, we were live in Orlando, Florida. So at first we were in Miami, Florida. So now we're in Orlando, Florida. And so yeah, man. So to start off the show, man, we had our first round AEW World Title Eliminator Tournament match. And so yeah, man. So it was Dustin Rhodes. It was Bryan Danielson versus Dustin Rhodes. And so yeah, man. So yeah, they mentioned this on commentary that this is the first time that these guys have fought each other. So yeah, man. Hard to believe because both of these guys were in WWE. So Yeah, but this is their first time fighting each other. And so yeah, man. So Bryan, he went right after Dustin's leg. Like the first parts of the match, man, it was all Bryan, man. It was all Bryan. He was going after Dustin's leg, and then Bryan, he was stretching out Dustin with submission moves and all that stuff. And so Dustin, he ended up fighting back, and we had a uppercut to Bryan, and then Bryan hit a tope suicida to Dustin, and then Bryan hit like a not Bryan, Dustin hit a cannonball to Bryan off the ring apron, and then Bryan, he went right after Dustin Rhodes' leg again, and so he had a German suplex to Bryan, and then Dustin started fighting back with chops, and so yeah, man, so Bryan, he went right after Dustin's arm, and so yeah, man, we had a camera appearance, man. We had an appearance from Tony Nese, man. We had a Tony Nese appearance, a Tony Nese AEW Dynamite appearance. So Tony Nese made his AEW Dynamite debut, just showing up. But he was in the crowd. He was watching the match in the crowd, so Tony Nese could be on his way in AEW. Great pickup, man. If he does go to AEW. And so yeah, man. So we had a superplex, man. I love the superplex, man. So Dustin hit a superplex to Bryan, which is beautiful, man. And so yeah, man. So Dustin hit a power slam to Bryan, followed up by a lift and reverse DDT to Bryan. And so nice transition move from Dustin. And Bryan, of course, kicks out. And so yeah, man, we had kicks. We had kicks and chops to Dustin in the corner. We had a diving clothesline to Bryan while Bryan was draped on the top rope. And Bryan kicks out of the move, and then Bryan locked in the label lock. And then Dustin put his foot on the rope to break up the submission hold. And so yeah, man. So Bryan hit the yes kicks to Dustin, and so the yes kicks had fired up Dustin. And so yeah, man. So both of these guys, they were going back and forth. And then we had stomps to Dustin's face, and then we had a rebound lariat to Bryan. And so yeah, man. So Dustin hit a power driver to Bryan, which was wicked, bro. And so Bryan kicks out, and so the crowd started chanting AEW, AEW. And so yeah, man. So yeah, to end the match, man, we had Bryan. He locked in a guillotine choke. He locked in a guillotine choke to Dustin Rhodes for the win. So Dustin Rhodes, he didn't tap out. He passed out. So therefore, Bryan Danielson wins the match and will advance to the next round of the AEW World Title Eliminator match. So yeah, man. As I said earlier, man, great match, hard fought win for Bryan, and because he was in the ring with Dustin Rhodes, who is no slouch himself. And yeah, man, I love the intensity too, man. I love the intensity, just the back and forth, everything, man. I love this match. And yeah, great match to start off the show, man. Great match to start off the show. So Bryan, he will be advancing to the next round. And so yeah, man. So that was pretty much it with that, man. That was pretty much it. And so yeah, right after that, man, we had the Elite. We had Kenny Omega, Kenny by God Omega, who is the AEW World Champion and a Triple A Mega Heavyweight Champion. Adam Cole and the Young Bucks. So that's Matt and Nick Jackson. So they're all backstage. And yeah, man, they were talking about Hangman Adam Page.
Is it hot in here or what? Oh, it's the heat, right?
It's definitely the heat. Hey, cameraman. Hey, bring it up. Tight to the face. There we go. Hey, Hanger. We've heard the big news. Next week, it's your Dark Order boys against the Elite.
Good luck.
And I wish I could say I'm feeling excited. I wish I could say that I'm feeling festive because it's our Halloween episode. But you know something? Every single week, teaming with you for a year felt like Halloween. And why is that? Because while I was always the best bout machine, while I was always the cleaner, while I was always championship material, there you were, cosplaying as a cowboy, trying to fool everyone into something that you really weren't. When I know the man behind the hat, I know the man behind the shirt, I know the man behind those skin-tight jeans, and I know your insecurities. I know that you can't sleep at night because you're afraid of failure. And I know right now, leading into the pay-per-view, one-on-one against me, you're burning through -1's diaper supply faster than you're burning through that homemade supply of moonshine you got at your house.
Wow.
And Hangman, if people only knew you the way that I knew you, they wouldn't be chanting cowboy shit. They'd be calling you what you really are. Coward shit.
Oh man, that was a great line.
Thank you for that.
No, it was you.
No, it was him. It was all him. Yeah, it was.
So yeah, man, that was pretty much it with that, man. So of course it's gonna be Hangman Adam Page versus Kenny by God Omega for the AEW World Championship. And yeah, man, really great promo, man. And not Cole, Adam Hangman Page, he will be beating Omega for the championship. That's what I'm going with. But yeah, man. So that was pretty much it with that, man. Kenny Omega, Adam Cole, and the Young Bucks, man, they look great together. That is the elite right there. So yeah, man. So right after that, man, we had a vignette from FTR of the Pinnacle. So that's Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler, and we had the Lucha Bros. So that's Pentagon and Ray Phoenix. So yeah, we had a vignette from these guys. And so yeah, man. So it was the Lucha Bros. So we had Pentagon and Alex Abrahantes. He was speaking for them. Well, Pentagon and Alex Abrahantes was speaking. And so yeah, man. So FTR, they said that they were the greatest luchadors alive, and they had the AAA tag team titles to prove it. And so Lucha Bros, they basically said that they want their revenge. They're gonna get their revenge for taking out Phoenix. And you saw Alex Abrahantes. He had a black eye from the attack from FTR. So yeah, so that was pretty much it with that, man. And so yeah, man. So right after that, man, we had Tony Schiavone, man. We had Tony Schiavone. He interviewed Sting, and he interviewed Sting because about Darby Allin, because he haven't been seen on TV. Darby Allin, because he was taken out by the Pinnacle. And so yeah, man. So Schiavone, he wanted to ask Sting about Darby Allin's whereabouts. And so yeah, man, Sting didn't even talk, man. He didn't get a chance to talk because he got interrupted by MJF's theme music. And so once his theme music played, you heard the crowd. It was just a loud boo. It was just a loud boo. Like once MJF's music hit, you heard a loud boo in the crowd. So yeah, man, I thought that was funny, man. I thought that was really funny. And so yeah, man, so MJF came out to the ring with his music, had the microphone in his hand. And so MJF, he said that Darby Allin wasn't coming back. He's not coming back. And so the crowd started chanting, "Shut the F up." And so yeah, man, so MJF, he said that, if Darby Allin shows up, he's going to be in a wheelchair, just like Sting's old friend, Lex Luger. So that fired up Sting, because Lex Luger is a good friend of Sting in real life. And so yeah, so Sting, he took out MJF. And then Shawn Spears and Wardlow, the rest of the Pinnacle, they came out and they attacked Sting. And so yeah, man, so yeah, Spears, he had the chair. Shawn Spears had the chair, and he hit Sting with the chair, and Sting had no soda. He no soda chair shot. And so yeah, they ended up hitting Sting with the chair anyways. And so Sting was laid out from the chair shots. And so yeah, crowd started chanting Darby, Darby. And so yeah, man, so Darby never came out because of course he's not there. He's hurt. And so yeah, man, so MJF, he was on the microphone and he looked in the camera because that's what Darby Allin was watching. He was watching it from home. And so yeah, man, so MJF, he asked Darby, he was like, "Did I break you mentally now?" Because weeks Darby Allin said that MJF couldn't beat him. He couldn't, break him mentally and all that stuff. And so MJF was questioning Darby like, "Hey, did I break you mentally now?" And so yeah, man, so the crowd started chanting Darby again, Darby. And so yeah, man, so MJF, he had said if Darby comes back, he pointed at Sting, who was laid out on the ground. He was like, "This will be your future." And so yeah, man, so MJF said to Darby, he was like, "Man, you'll always be the second best. You'll always be second best to me." And so yeah, MJF, he has said that he's the past, the present, and the future of professional wrestling. And so yeah, so Sting tried to get back up, right after the Pinnacle tried to leave the ring. Sting was getting back up, and so MJF, he had blasted Sting with this Dynamite diamond ring, and that was pretty much it. That was pretty much it, man. Great stuff, man. Great stuff. And so yeah, man. So I think they did book it for Full Gear. I think they did book it, but if they haven't already, I would put this on Full Gear. That's what I would do. But yeah, man, that was pretty much it with that, man. And so yeah, so right after that, man, we had Tony Schiavone. He interviews Dr. Britt Baker, D.M.D, who is the AEW Women's World Champion.
The AEW Women's World Champion, Dr. Britt Baker, D.M.D. We now know at Full Gear you will defend this prestigious belt against Ty Conti.
Yeah, and Ty, pardon me for not giving you the proper welcome you think you deserve when you first came to All Elite Wrestling. But since you did what you do best, and that's stick your nose in everyone's business, here I am. And it's taken me some time to do some careful studying to learn that all you've done since you've gotten here is shown everybody your ass. Meanwhile, I'm showing everybody why I'm the most talked about name in all of women's wrestling. And if you would have just done what you should have like a good girl and worked your way to the top, Full Gear would have been a hell of a match. But now, since you laid your hands on what's mine, I'm going to lay my hands on you and beat that ass that you love showing off all the time.
Wow.
Yours truly, Dr. Britt Baker, D.M.D.
Yeah, and that was it, man. That was it. So yeah, man, that's what I was saying, man. Like, did Ty Conti ever work her way up to the #1 contender spot? But yeah, That's all I was saying. But yeah, there's no way Ty Conti is beating Dr. Britt. There's no way she's beating Dr. Britt. So yeah, so it's official. So Ty Conti versus Dr. Britt Baker, D.M.D. at AEW Full Gear. So yeah, that should be really good. So yeah, man. So that was pretty much it with the interview. And so yeah, so right after that, man, we had the first round. So this is the start of the first round of the TBS Women's Championship title eliminator match, or the TBS Women's Title Eliminator Tournament. And we had Penelope Iv versus Ruby Soho. So Ruby Soho is my pick to win the whole entire thing. And so yeah, man. So we had Ford. She attacked Ruby Soho, and so Ruby started fighting back. We had a super kick to Ford, and then the bunny had came out. She skipped out to the ring, and so yeah, so the bunny tried to get involved in the match, and so Ford had took advantage of the the distraction, and so Ford, she took control of the match during the commercial break, picture in picture, of course. And so yeah, man. So Ruby, she tried to fight back, and then Penelope Ford hit a cutter to Ruby. So that was a nice looking cutter from Penelope Ford. And so yeah, man. So we had a STO to Ford, and we had a spinning kick to Ruby, and then we had a gutbuster to Ruby. And so Ruby kicks out of the gutbuster. And so yeah, man. This is towards the end of the match. We had Ford. She tried to use the brass knuckles. She tried to use the brass knuckles in the match, but the referee had saw it, and so the referee had stepped. He had stepped on the brass knuckles, and so Penelope Ford tried to get the referee's foot off of the brass knuckles. And so yeah, so the brass knuckles was away from his foot, and so referee just kicked it out of the ring, and so Ford tried to get it, and so she couldn't get it in time. And so yeah, man, so yeah, and then Ruby Soho, she took advantage of it, and so she rolled up Penelope Ford for the win. So therefore Ruby Soho wins the match. It will advance to the next round of the TBS Women's Title Eliminator match and will face Chris Statlander. So yeah, so Chris Statlander got a bye. She was one of the women that got a bye in the tournament. So yeah, man. So Ruby Soho will be facing Chris Statlander in the next round in the TBS Women's Title Eliminator match. And so yeah, man. So right after the match, we had Penelope Ford and the Bunny. They try to gang up on Ruby Soho, but Red Velvet had came out to even up the odds, and she chased off the Bunny and Penelope Ford. So that was pretty much it with that. So yeah, man. So yeah, that was it. And so yeah, man. So yeah, Ruby Soho is my pick. She should win this match. She should win the whole entire tournament. That's what I'll go with, man. That's what I'll go with. But yeah, man. So right after that, man, we had the Pinnacle. We had MJF, Shawn Spears, and Wardlow. So they were backstage, man. And so yeah, man. So yeah, first off, man, we had MJF. MJF, he was backstage with Shawn Spears and Wardlow. And yeah, man, Wardlow, he was upset about MJF pushing him into Sting last week. And so yeah, man. So MJF, he was like, yeah, man, about that. I was nervous. I didn't know what to do, and I had to do what I had to do. But I wouldn't do that to put you in danger. I wouldn't do anything to put you in danger. And so yeah, so MJF, he had told Wardlow that I'm gonna find you an accountability buddy. And so his accountability buddy is Shawn Spears. And so that was pretty much it with that, man. That was pretty much it with the Pinnacle speaking backstage. And so yeah, man. So that was it with that. And so yeah, man. So right after that, man, we had a match, and it was Bobby Fish, the infamous Bobby Fish versus Anthony Greene. So yeah, man. So Fish, he went right after Greene, and then we had a diving spinning crossbody to Fish. So Greene was trying to fight back, and so we had strikes to Greene, a springboard senton to Greene, and then Fish, he went right after Greene's leg, and then we had a sliding lariat to Greene. We had an exploder suplex to Greene on the ropes, and then a roundhouse kick to Greene to win the match. So therefore, Bobby Fish wins the match. And so yeah, man. So right after the match, Bobby Fish, he attacked Greene. He attacked Anthony Greene. And so yeah, man. So yeah, I guess Bobby Fish is a heel. I guess he was a heel because he came out of the heel tunnel. So I guess he completed his heel heel turn. But yeah, man. So yeah, he attacked Greene, and then CM Punk had came out. And so yeah, at first I didn't know who that was. The guy that ran out, I didn't know it was Punk, because the guy had like a hat on, and he had like a jacket on, a black jacket. So when the camera had showed up, I was like, oh, it's Punk. Like, I didn't know it was Punk, because based off of how the camera was set up. So yeah, so Punk had came out, and he chased off Bobby Fish. So yeah, so the next match for Punk is Bobby Fish versus CM Punk. So yeah, man, that should be good, man. That should be really good. And both of these guys, their styles should mesh well together. So, yeah, man, it should be really good. Punk versus Bobby Fish. Still haven't heard Bobby Fish speak, but yeah, I wanna hear more from Bobby Fish. But yeah, man, so that was it, man. That was it with that. And so yeah, man. So right after that, we had Tony Schiavone. He was backstage. He interviews Lio Rush and Dante Martin. And so yeah, man. So Rush, he has said that he will mentor. He will take Dante Martin under his wing. And so yeah, and so Rush, he had talked about Matt Sydal failing, not living up to his promise and all that stuff. And so yeah, man. So Rush, he had said that he got in a tag team match with Lio Rush and Dante Martin versus the Sydal brothers. So that's Matt Sydal and Mike Sydal. So yeah, Lio Rush went to Tony Khan and made a tag team match. And so yeah, man. So that was pretty much it with that. And so yeah, man. So right after that, man, we had our first round AEW World Title Eliminator match. So yeah, this is our second first round match of tonight on AEW Dynamite. And so yeah, man, so we had Lance Archer versus Eddie Kingston. And so yeah, man, this scary, man, scary spot in this match from Lance Archer. But yeah, man, yeah, while Lance Archer was making his entrance, we had Eddie Kingston. He attacked Archer from behind. Yeah, when Lance Archer was making his entrance, Eddie Kingston had attacked Archer from behind. And so yeah, so both of these guys are fighting outside. The match didn't start yet. And so yeah, man, so Archer, he took a fan from the crowd. He took a fan from the crowd. And so he chokeslammed the fan on top of Eddie Kingston. And so yeah, so both of these guys, they got back into the ring, and so the match started. The bell had rung. And so yeah, both of these guys trying to kill each other, man. And so yeah, Archer, he took control of the match during the commercial break, picture in picture, of course. And so yeah, man, so this is the spot that I was talking about, man. So yeah, Archer, he was going for a moonsault. And he landed right on the top of his head, man. Right on the top of his head, dude. And at the time, dude, I was like, oh my God, dude, I hope he's okay. I hope he is okay. And we found out he was okay. And so yeah, man, so that was a really nasty spot. And it played up towards the end. And so yeah, so the docs went to go check on Lance Archer, and the referee went to go check on Lance Archer. And so yeah, man, so yeah, they had to call an audible. And so they had Eddie Kingston had rolled up Lance Archer for the win. So Eddie Kingston wins the match and will advance to the next round of the AEW World Title Eliminator match, and he will be facing Bryan Danielson in the next round. And so yeah, man, so that was pretty much it with that, man. Now, if the moonsault, if the botch never would have happened, I thought that Lance Archer would have advanced. I thought he would have advanced to the next round. So we could have Lance Archer versus Bryan Danielson. But yeah, and yeah, it was just a weird finish, man. And so yeah, I'm glad Lance Archer is okay, man. That is a scary spot. Like, could have easily ended his career that way. A spot like that could have ended his career. Could have left him paralyzed, man. Cause you land on the top of your head, on a ring mat. So that, dude, scary spot, man. Scary spot. And so yeah, man. So yeah, Eddie Kingston is advancing. He's advancing to the next round. And he's gonna be fighting Bryan Danielson in the next round. And so yeah, man. So that was it, man. That was it with that, man. That was it. And so yeah, man. So right after that, man, we had the Men of the Year. So that's Ethan Page, Scorpio Sky, and Dan Lambert. So they spoke. And so yeah, man. So we had Ethan Page. They all said that the Inner Circle sucks. And they went down every single member of the Inner Circle, talking about each guy. And so yeah, so Page, he had called Sammy Guevara a PR nightmare. And so yeah, so Sammy Guevara had came out to the ring, grabbed the microphone. And so Sammy Guevara took a page out of Jericho's book when he told Ethan Page to shut the hell up. And so yeah, man, so yeah, Sammy Guevara, he said, he worked hard to get the TNT championship. He worked hard his entire life to get the TNT championship. And so yeah, man, so Sammy, he says the reason why Page is not ahead is his ego. And he's the only person that cares about himself. And so yeah, so Sammy, he had called Lambert a fat-faced dip. And so yeah, so the crowd went and they chant along to it. That. And so yeah, man, so Lambert. So yeah, last week the Inner Circle, it was either last week or the week before that, they challenged the Men of the Year to a 10-man tag team match. The Men of the Year in America's Top Team to a 10-man tag team match at Full Gear. And then Lambert, he said if Sammy Guevara shows up and put his championship on the line, then, you know, then they'll accept the match, or they will accept the match. And so yeah, so Lambert, he has said if Sammy Guevara if you lose the TNT Championship, then he has to leave the Inner Circle forever. So yeah, man. So yeah, and then Sammy Guevara also made a deal too. If he wins his title match, then he gets to choose like the guys that he wants to fight, the guys in the America's Top Team that he want to fight. But yeah, and then yeah, to end this off, man, we had Sky and Paige. They try to gang up. They try to gang up on Sammy Guevara. And so we had Santana and Ortiz and Jake Hager, the rest of the Inner Circle. They came out and they chased off the Men of the Year. And of course, Jericho was not there. He was on a Jericho cruise. So yeah, he wasn't there. And so yeah, man, that was pretty much it with that, man. That was pretty much it. Now I said this last week or the week before that. They're gonna end up having a 10-man tag team match, and it might be at Full Gear. So yeah, they will have it at Full Gear. And so yeah, man. So yeah, that was it, man. That was it with that, man. And so yeah, man. So right after that, man, we had Jon Moxley. He was backstage and he spoke about the AEW World Title Eliminator title match.
Now I'm supposed to be yelling and screaming about how I'm gonna wreck everybody and win this tournament, and for sure that's gonna happen. But that's not really what's on my mind right now.
What is that?
And I keep it real with y'all. Always have. Right now, what I'm thinking about is my daughter.
Yeah.
My daughter's eyes. And the other day, I look into her eyes and she stares right back in mine. I stick my pinky out like this. This is my broken pinky. It's a little jacked up. But she grabs it and squeezes it for everything she's got. And it occurs to me in that moment, I actually don't give a crap about any of this.
Oh.
I don't care about this tournament.
Oh.
I don't care about the AEW World Championship. I don't care about the ratings. I don't care about who said what on Twitter. I don't care about the demo. I could care less. What I care about is this.
His daughter.
Getting home with my teeth in my head and my head on my shoulders. And for that to happen, other people got to get hurt. Be a lot easier if I was like a mailman or a gym teacher, but this is what I do. In this tournament, high stakes, World Championship Eliminator. This ain't some ladder climbing contest. This is some, everybody goes into a dark alley and only one guy comes out kind of stuff. So who do you think it's going to be that comes out? My message to everybody else in this tournament: I'll get you before you get me.
Oh man.
I'm gonna win this whole damn thing.
Yeah. And that was it, man. That was it with the promo from Jon Moxley, man. Jon Moxley is always great on the mic. Always great on the mic. Yeah, when he said he didn't care about the AEW title, man, that shocked me the most. You know, he didn't care about the tournament or the title and all that stuff. But, you know, the only thing that he does care about is his daughter, man. You have to respect that. You have to respect that. You know, he only cares about his daughter. He's doing it for his daughter. And yeah, man. Jon Moxley, man, I think he's gonna end up, I don't know what it is, man. I think Jon Moxley, he is on the urge of turning heel, man. I think he's on the urge of turning heel. Yeah, that's what I think, man. Like, you remember that match that he had with Wheeler Utah, man? With Wheeler Utah. I think it was on Rampage or Dynamite, one of those shows. He squashed him. He squashed Wheeler Utah. And Orange Cassidy, he was right there. He watched it. He watched it happen. And, you know, like unloaded on this guy, killed this guy. And so, yeah, man. So that's why I'm thinking that since Orange Cassidy is in the tournament, he advanced to the next round. It's going to be Moxley versus Orange Cassidy. And then, Jon Moxley, he could end up turning heel. He can end up turning heel in this tournament. I think he might, this is what I think he might do. He might make it to the finals, and he'll lose. He'll lose in the finals. He'll lose in the finals, or he might lose in his semi-match against Orange Cassidy. And he might end up turning heel. That's what I think. I don't know what it is, but I think he's on the urge of turning heel. And a heel Moxley, man, oh my God, man. Can you imagine that, bro? Can you imagine that? My God, dude. But yeah, that was it, man. That was it with Jon Moxley and what he had to say about the AEW World Title Eliminator match. And so yeah, man. So right after that, man, we had Sammy Guevara. We had Sammy Guevara with his cue cards. So yeah, man. So Sammy on his cue cards, he had said. So yeah, he said Orlando, Florida, another week, another huge waste of time. Big surprise, American plop team, not American top team, American plop team. And so yeah, man. So he said, come out to run their mouths again. I say it's time to run mine. And he said Ethan Page next week on Dynamite, the Spanish guy versus the loose pecs or loose pecs. Yeah, loose pecs. Ethan Page. It'll be the Boston TNT party. And so yeah, man. So that was pretty much it, man. That was pretty much it with that. Pretty much it with that. And so yeah, man. So right after that, man, we had the Dark Order. We had the Dark Order. They spoke backstage. So they were talking about the Elite.
Last week it was a pretty tough loss against the Super Clique.
It was, but if you think a single loss is going to stop the Dark Order from stopping you, Super Clique, you are mistaken.
I wanted to say sorry for not catching up with you guys sooner, and more truthfully, I want to say sorry for everything that happened.
Adam Hangman Page came in.
Because you guys were right.
We were right.
No. We were right. What I'm saying is you were all right. Yeah. You're not always going to agree, and each of you did what you thought was right, and I think that's the best. So I want to thank you for that and apologize. But if you guys are going to go back after the Elite, next week we're getting real close to Halloween.
Yeah.
And if I know those guys, they're gonna have a costume. So Dark Order, not to be outdone.
Oh, we won't. We won't.
Never.
We won't be.
I'm going to be Bambi.
Have you seen the ending of Bambi?
No. I have a ton of weird costumes in my closet.
Yeah, we know. We got to think of something really good.
So yeah, man. So that was it with that. So Hangman Adam Page is advising him to dress up for Halloween. There's gonna be a Halloween themed episode of AEW Dynamite. So yeah, against the Elite, because he knows that the Elite is gonna try to dress up as something. And yeah, man, that was it, man. And so yeah, speaking of the Elite, we had the Elite's associate stooge, Brandon Cutler, versus Jungle Boy. So yeah, man, this is a squash match. So yeah, Jungle Boy hit a tope suicida, and then Cutler at one point tried to do the Panama Sunrise, but he failed. And so Cutler at one point he had slapped Jungle Boy in his face, and then Jungle Boy slapped him back. And so Jungle Boy hit a powerbomb to Cutler. And so to end the match, man, we had a snare trap to Cutler to win the match. So Cutler taps out. Therefore, Jungle Boy wins the match. And so yeah, so right after the match, Jungle Boy, he grabbed the microphone, he spoke. Jungle Boy, he said that he feels good and is ready to go again. So he's ready for another match. And so Jungle Boy, he had called out a member of the Elite to come out and fight him. And so the crowd started chanting for Adam Cole. And so Jungle Boy, he locked in on the snare trap. He knocked in the snare trap submission move to Cutler, to try to force the Elite to come out. And so Adam Cole, he came out and he called Jungle Boy an embarrassment. And so Cole, he had said, let's fight right now. And so yeah, so Cole went on the ring apron, and then Jungle Boy knocked him off of the ring apron. And so yeah, man, so we had super kicks to Jungle Boy from behind from the Young Bucks. So the Young Bucks caught Jungle Boy with a super kick from behind. And so yeah, man, so the Super Clique, they took out Jungle Boy, so it was a 3-on-1 beatdown. And so yeah, man, so we had a BTE trigger to Jungle Boy, followed up by the boom to Jungle Boy on the stage. And so yeah, man, so the Bucks, they threw Jungle Boy off of the stage, and he landed right through a table. He landed through a table that was outside the ring. I mean, that was off the stage. So he threw him off of the stage, and he landed through a table. So that was pretty much it, man. Pretty much it with that. And so yeah, man. So yeah, I'm thinking Adam Cole. I think Adam Cole and Jungle Boy, they're gonna have another match. It's gonna be at Full Gear. That's what I'm thinking, man. Because Cole, he was the first person to come out. And they had a back and forth. And Jungle Boy is actually the first person that Adam Cole took out when Adam Cole made his debut in AEW Dynamite, or AEW All Out. When he made his appearance at All Out, the first person that Adam Cole took out was Jungle Boy. So yeah, man. So I think they might have a match at Full Gear. And so yeah, man. So yeah, right after that, man, we had a vignette from Miro. He spoke. So yeah, man. So Miro, he said that his wife Lana needs her champion back. And so yeah, so he said that his God, Miro has said that his God's forsaken. Yeah, Miro, he has said that he's God's forsaken champion and will now become and will become God's favorite champion once again. And so yeah, so Miro has said everything that I do to my opponents is gonna be on you, God. And so yeah, that was pretty much it with Miro and what he had to say. And so yeah, man. So before we talk about the main event, man, let's talk about Dynamite for next week and AEW Rampage for next week. So yeah, man. So we have. So yeah, man. So yeah, for next week's Dynamite on Wednesday, so everything will be back to normal on Wednesday. So we're gonna have the Dark Order. We're gonna have the Dark Order. So members of the Dark Order is gonna be John Silver, Boom Boom Colt Cabana, and Evil Uno and Stu Grayson versus the Elite with Don Callis in their corner. So we have Kenny by God Omega, who is the AEW World Champion and the AAA Mega Heavyweight Champion, Adam Cole, baby, and the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson. And so yeah, man. And then also we have a TNT Championship match, and it's gonna be Ethan Page, All Ego Ethan Page versus Sammy Guevara, the Spanish God, who is the TNT Champion. And also we have, oh yeah, and the stipulation in this match, if Sammy Guevara loses the title, then he has to leave the Inner Circle forever. And also we have another first round TBS Women's Championship title eliminator match. Tournament match is going to be Serena Deeb versus Hikaru Shida. And also we have the AEW World Title Eliminator Tournament match is going to be Dark Orders number 10 versus Jon Moxley. And also for Wednesday is going to be Bobby Fish versus CM Punk. So this is going to be CM Punk's first AEW Dynamite match. It's going to be his first Dynamite match. So yeah, hard to believe, man. Hard to believe that is Punk's first Dynamite match, because you know he like, yeah, you would think that he already had his Dynamite match, but yeah, he's been competing on Rampage. So this is actually Punk's first Dynamite match. So yeah, Bobby Fish versus CM Punk next week on Wednesday, or this week rather on Wednesday. I'm recording this on Sunday. And also we have the AEW, the semifinals. We have the semifinals of the AEW World Title Eliminator Tournament. It's going to be Bryan Danielson versus Eddie Kingston. So that should be really good, bro. Oh my God. And also, man, for Rampage, we have the Sydal brothers. So that's Matt Sydal and Mike Sydal versus Leo Rush and Dante Martin. So that's on Rampage next week. And so yeah, man. So that's pretty much it. That was the matches that were announced for this coming Wednesday for Dynamite, and next week's are Friday for AEW Rampage. And so yeah, man. So now time for the main event, as Mark Henry would like to say. So yeah, man. So we have Malachi Black versus Cody Rhodes with Arn Anderson in his corner. And so yeah, man. So yeah, as soon as Cody Rhodes' theme music played, man, the crowd booed. They booed, and Cody Rhodes is supposed to be the babyface. And so yeah, man. So the crowd started chanting, "Cody sucks, Cody sucks." And then we had kicks to Cody, and then Cody at one point stomped on Malachi Black's face. And so yeah, man, every time Cody got offense in the match, the crowd booed. And so yeah, we had a power slam to Black, and then Cody threw his weight belt in the crowd. And then Black, he had grabbed a chair at one point, and then we had Lee Johnson and Brock Anderson. They walked out to the ring. So members of the Nightmare family came out, and the crowd had booed. And so yeah, man, so we went to commercial break. Picture in picture, of course. And so yeah, man, the funny thing about this though, that when we went to commercial break, bro, the commercial was talking about Cody Rhodes. It was talking about Cody Rhodes and Malachi Black and his feud with Malachi Black and Rhodes to the top. It was talking about Rhodes to the top, and they talked about him getting booed as a babyface and all that stuff. And yeah, and his feud with Malachi Black and all that stuff. I was like, yeah, it was really funny. It was ironic. It was ironic that it came out, the episode or the commercial rather came on during this match with Malachi Black and Cody Rhodes, you know, getting booed every time he getting offense in his match. So yeah, man. So yeah, and then also during the commercial break, we had Cody Rhodes. He had a crossroads. He had a crossroads to Black off of the ring apron through a table. And so yeah, Black was bleeding, and in the crowd they, you know, they chanted for Arn Anderson. Arn Anderson, he was in the ring, and so yeah, they chanted to Arn Anderson, get the Glock. So I thought that was really funny, man. Really funny. And so yeah, man. So Cody at one point he was bleeding too. I think because he ran into the ring post at one point and he was bleeding. And so yeah, man. So we had Andrade El Idolo. He came out. The crowd had cheered, man. They cheered for Andrade. And then Andrade's assistant tried to attack Arn Anderson, but Arn Anderson had caught the assistant with a spine buster. And so yeah, man. So Black he had spit the black mist in Arn Anderson's face and his eyes. And so yeah, so Pac he came out as well. So Pac came out as well, and he took out Andrade. And so yeah, man. So we had a springboard moonsault to Cody, which was nice. And then we had Cody. He hit the crossroads to Black, and he kicks out. And then Black hit a diving foot stomp to Cody, which was freaking brutal, man. And then we had a V-trigger knee, followed up by a German suplex to Cody, and Cody kicks out. And then yeah, man. And then Black hit the black mass. He hit the black mass on Cody, and he rolled out of the ring. And so yeah, man. So yeah, Cody got up after the black mass. He got up after the black mass, and he hit a tope suicida to Black. And then he hit the Cody cutter on Black. And then Black hit the not Black. Cody hit the crossroads on Black. And then to end the match, man, we had Cody Rhodes. He hit the Tiger Driver. He hit the Tiger Driver 98 to Black to win the match. So therefore, Cody Rhodes wins the match. And the crowd they booed. They booed. The crowd booed. And yeah, man. Just like what I said, man, this is a great match, Brian. This is a great match, but I would have much rather had Black win this match. This should have been Black. This should have been Black. Like, what makes you think that Cody Rhodes is gonna beat Black once when Black already beat him twice? Black already beat him twice, and Cody beat him once, just once. He beat him once, and Black beat him twice, and this is their third match. So, the win does nothing for Cody. The win does nothing for Cody. Because Black already has 2 wins over him. He already has 2 wins over Cody, and Cody just having 1 win over Black. Now, yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't know what they're gonna do. Will they have like a best of 7 series? I would not do that. But yeah, it didn't make any sense, man. Did not make any sense to have Cody Rhodes win the match. But yeah, man, and that's what I was thinking. I was like, man, the way that the way that they built up Cody, made me believe that Cody was gonna win. Made me believe that Cody was gonna win because based off of his training and everything and all that stuff. But yeah, that was it. That was it with Dynamite, man. That was it with Dynamite. Good show. The Bryan Danielson and Dustin Rhodes match was good. Main event match was good. And yeah, man. And that was it, man. That was it with Dynamite, man. That was pretty much it. And now, man, let's talk about Impact Wrestling, man. Let's talk about Impact Wrestling. Impact Wrestling, Bound for Glory. So yeah, man. So this is the end. This is the end of the AEW Dynamite review for October the 23rd, 2021. And yeah, man. Now let's talk about the Impact Wrestling Bound for Glory 2021, man. 2021 Impact Wrestling Bound for Glory. So yeah, man. So now it's time for the Impact Wrestling Bound for Glory 2021 review on D. Ryan Awesome Show. So this is the second half of the D. Ryan Awesome Show for Impact Wrestling Bound for Glory 2021. And yeah, man, overall show, man, it was disappointing, man. It was really disappointing. Like, man, it's like Bound for Glory. They promised us surprises. They promised us surprises on that show on Bound for Glory, and we didn't get no surprises. The only surprises we got was the Demon. That's it. The Demon. And no huge surprise. No huge surprise on Bound for Glory. People were saying that Braun Strowman was going to show up or Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt was not going to show up. But yeah, I was hearing Braun Strowman. That would have been a surprise. But all we got was the Iconics or the Inspiration, the Demon, Melina. That's it, man. We didn't get no surprises. And then another thing, man, about this show, I thought we were gonna see some AEW talent show up. I thought we was gonna see some AEW talent show up, or some New Japan talent showing up, or some AAA talent showing up, because during that Bound for Glory commercial, they showed the logos, man. They showed the logos for all of those other companies during the commercial. So I thought that sounded like some of their talent were gonna be featured on the show. That's what I thought, but we didn't get that, man. We didn't get that. But yeah, man, show was disappointing, man. It was disappointing. Like, it really was, man. Like some of the stuff, like we did have some great matches on the show. Don't get me wrong. Some of the matches were good. Some of the matches were good. but I just didn't agree with some of the outcomes of the matches. I didn't agree with the outcomes, like the knockout tag team championships being switched to being given to the Iconics or the Inspiration. I didn't agree with that. I didn't agree with that. They never should have got a tag team title, a tag team championship match on their first night. They should have just had a tag team match. Like, you build these people up first, and then you give them a championship match. You don't just give them a championship match on their first night. You can't do that. I really don't care who you are, man. I really don't care who you are. You gotta work your way up. You gotta work your way up to a championship status. And then we have a new Knockouts champion, Mickie James. I'm gonna talk about all this stuff later, man. But yeah, I didn't agree with most of this stuff on the show. I really didn't. But the matches were good. The matches were good, but I did not agree with it. Did not agree with it. And then they went back on their word about the surprises. We didn't get no surprises on Bound for Glory last night. We didn't. But yeah, man. Overall, just disappointing, man. Just a disappointing show. But yeah, man. But so this is the second half of D. Ryan Awesome Show. We'll be talking about Impact Wrestling Bound for Glory 2021. And so yeah, man, so they were live in Las Vegas. So this is the first time that they moved out of that studio in Nashville, Tennessee. So they were in Las Vegas. Now the arena did look a little bit bigger, but it kind of did look like it was the same size, but it was just a little bigger. But yeah, man. So yeah, first off, we had our first match of the night for Bound for Glory. We had the Impact Knockouts Championship match, or the Impact Knockouts Tag Team Championship match, and it was the Inspiration as Jessie McKay and Cassie Lee versus Decay, who were the Impact World Tag Team Champions, Impact Knockouts World Tag Team Champions, as Havoc and Rosemary. And so the Inspiration that came out, they were sung to the ring, and so the crowds they started chanting inspiration, inspiration, and so they grabbed the microphone, so they spoke, and they said that they're here to inspire Impact Wrestling. And so yeah, man, so we started the match. We had Decay that took control of the match, and so Rosemary, she bit Jessie. And then we had a double team move to Rosemary, and then we had a hot tag to Havoc. She took out the Inspiration by herself. We had an assisted knee to Rosemary from the Inspiration. And we had a Scorpion Death Drop to Cassie from Rosemary. A Spear to Cassie from Rosemary. Jessie broke up the pin. And Rosemary, she took a bullet for Havoc at one point. And then the Inspiration, they double team Havoc. And then Rosemary, at one point, she pinned the illegal person. And so, yeah, man, so the Inspiration, they took advantage of it, and they gave Rosemary a assisted neckbreaker to win the match. So the Inspiration wins the match and are the new Knockouts Tag Team Champions. And so yeah, man, as I said earlier, they should have never gotten a tag team title match on their first night. Their first night in the company, never should have got their tag team match. Like, if you want a championship match, I say this time and time again, if you want a championship match, you gotta work your way up to a championship match. You can't just get awarded a championship match on your first night. But yeah, man. But then again, like, yeah, they shouldn't be losing in their debut match. They should not be losing in their debut. But the title match never should have been booked. You should have put these women against somebody else, not the tag team champions. Could have put them up against anybody. Could have had them debut against somebody else, not in a tag team title match. But yeah, man. That was it, man. That was it. Now, right after this, we had an interview from Gia Miller. She was backstage. She interviews Deonna Purrazzo, the Virtuosa. Deonna Purrazzo, who is the Impact Knockouts champion and the Reina de Reinas champion, with Matthew Raywalt in her corner. So yeah, man. So Gia Miller reminded Purrazzo that Matthew Raywalt was banned from ringside once again. And so Purrazzo, she said that, it was unfair that she got punished, Purrazzo got punished, and that they got punished for bringing a fight to Mickie James. And so Purrazzo, she said that, she done everything on her own. She won the Impact Knockouts Championship on her own, and she will do the same thing tonight. She's going to retain her Impact World Championship, or Impact Knockouts Championship on her own. And so Purrazzo, she said that she would break both Mickie James's arms. So that was it with that, man. That was it. Now, yeah, man. So yeah, our next match, we had the X Division Triple Threat title match. So this is one thing that I did like on this show. We had a new champion, man, new champion. So yeah, so it was for the vacated X Division Championship, and it was El Phantasmo representing the Bullet Club versus Steve Maclin versus Trey Miguel. So yeah, man. So I love Trey Miguel's ring entrance. Or yeah, his ring entrance when he did the spray can, sprayed his name on the entranceway or the screen, the Titantron. And then I love the ring gear that he had on too, man. He had all gold and he had some black in his ring gear too. You know, signifying saying that he's gonna hold the gold or he's gonna be draped in all gold. And so yeah, man. So yeah, in these type of matches, man, triple threats and fatal four ways, I cannot keep tracking this match. But yeah, man. So everybody they went right after each other. Phantasmo, he was at one point squeezing Macklin's nipples at one point. And then yeah, we had a Muda lock to Phantasmo from Miguel. And so yeah, man. And Trey Miguel he had a Northern Light suplex to Macklin while he had the Muda lock locked in on Phantasmo. And so yeah, man. We had Phantasmo. He had a lion salt. He had a lion salt to Macklin. And so yeah, Phantasmo he walked the top rope at one point. And yeah, yeah, this was awesome, man. Yeah, first off, man, Phantasmo he was walking on the top rope, and then Trey Miguel he tried to trip Phantasmo, he tried to knock Phantasmo off of the top rope, and so yeah, man, so Phantasmo ended up jumping out of the way, so he jumped out of the way while he was still on the rope, man, and so yeah, man, so Trey Miguel he went crashing into the guardrail, and so yeah, man, so he managed to keep his balance, on that top rope, and so he gave Steve Macklin a Rana, a springboard Rana. So that was freaking awesome, dude. Freaking awesome. And so yeah, man, one of the best spots in this match, man. And so yeah, man. So Trey Miguel he fought off Phantasmo and Macklin, and then we had a flatliner DDT combo to Trey and Phantasmo from Macklin. And so yeah, man. So yeah, we had a shoulder tackle, man. So Trey Miguel he tried to go for like a handstand move, and so Macklin had caught him with like a spear. He caught him with a spear while Miguel was upside down and he knocked them out of the ring. So they both fell out of the ring. And so yeah, that had to hurt, man. Had to hurt. And so Macklin hit a tope suicida to Phantasmo. So that was explosive, man. A big guy hitting a tope, really explosive. And so yeah, man. So yeah, Macklin. Oh my God, this is one scary spot in this match too, man. One scary spot in this match. So yeah, Macklin he tried to go for, or he did. He hit a tope on Hero on Trey Miguel, but Macklin he almost landed awkwardly. Like it looked like at the back of his head. It looked like he almost landed on his back of his head. He almost landed on the back of his head off of that tope on Hero, but Trey Miguel caught him. Yeah, that could have ended badly, man. If he would have undershot it a little bit, that would have been it, man. But yeah, man, scary spot, man. But yeah, man, we had an outside moonsault to Macklin from Phantasmo, which was nice, man, beautiful. And so yeah, man, we had a springboard stunner to Phantasmo from Trey Miguel, so that was brutal. And so yeah, man, we had a code red to Macklin from Trey, and we had a top Rana. To Trey from Phantasmo, and Trey he landed right on top of Macklin's knees, man. Landed right on top of Macklin's knees off of that top Rana. And yeah, also brutal. Had to hurt, man. Had to hurt. And so yeah, we had a diving splash to Macklin from Phantasmo, kicks out. Super kick to Macklin from Phantasmo. And then Phantasmo, he punched Trey Miguel in the balls. But Trey Miguel, he no-sold it because, you know, he was wearing a cup. So he took the cup out. And so, yeah, man. And so Trey Miguel hit a brain buster to Phantasmo. And so to end the match, man, we had a diving meteor to Phantasmo from Trey Miguel to win the match. So therefore, Trey Miguel wins the match and is the new X Division champion. So yeah, man, great match, man. Great match. One of the best matches on this show. And the right person did win this match. The right person won this freaking match. Trey Miguel all the way, man. Trey Miguel been there the longest. And just worked his hardest. He been stuck in a tag team. And when MSK went to WWE, Trey Miguel was on his own. And he found his way as a single star, had a great feud with Sami Callihan and beat Sami Callihan. And now went after the X Division Championship. And now he's finally the X Division Champion. Well deserved win for Trey Miguel, man. Well deserved win. And Trey Miguel, man, he was crying, man. Tears of joy for Trey Miguel. So yeah, man, that was pretty much it, man. Pretty much it with the match. Congratulations to Trey Miguel. Well deserved win. Well deserved win for Trey Miguel. And so yeah, man. So right after that, man, we had a backstage interview, and it was Gia Miller. She interviews Mickie James. And so yeah, so Gia, she had asked Mickie James, is Deonna Purrazzo the toughest challenge? And so James had said yes, she is. And so James, she had said that Purrazzo made it personal when she came to her house, where her family lives, and she, attacked her at her house. And so James, she had said that tonight, winning the Impact Women's Championship or the Impact Knockouts Championship, it's all about proving herself. Tonight is all about proving herself. And she said that the Impact Knockouts Championship is everything to her, is important to her, and she will win it. She will win it. And so that was pretty much it with the interview. And so yeah, man. So right after that, man, we had a tag team match. At first, it was a handicap match, and it turned into a tag team match. So yeah, so right now it's a handicap match, and it was Violent by Design. So that's Diener and Joe Doran with Eric Young in their corner versus Heath. And it was supposed to be Rhino. So Rhino, at first he didn't show up, but he did ended up showing up later. And so yeah, man. So Heath, he came out to the ring to his theme music, and he looked up the stage, seeing if Rhino came out, but Rhino didn't come out. So Violent by Design, they took out Heath Slater, and again, nobody came out, and so Heath, he did it alone. So yeah, Heath was fighting for his life, hitting jabs on Doran, and so we had a swinging neckbreaker to Heath from Diener, and so Doran hit a body slam followed by a back elbow drop to Heath Slater. And so yeah, man, we had a crossbody to Heath from Doran, very explosive, man. These big guys hitting the running crossbody is really explosive. Love that move from these big guys. And so yeah, man. So Diener at one point he missed a diving headbutt. Matt Stryker on commentary said that Pegasus headbutt. And so yeah, man. So yeah, Heath Slater was fighting back, and then Heath and Diener, they took each other out with clotheslines, and then Rhino's music played, his theme music played, and so Rhino came out to the ring, and so he stood in Heath Slater's corner, and so Heath tagged in Rhino. So Rhino came in, took out Joe Doran with a belly-to-belly suplex. And so to end the match, man, we had Rhino. He gored Diener to win the match. So Rhino and Heath win the match. And yeah, man, after the match, Rhino and Heath, they hugged each other. So that was pretty much it. And so yeah, man, it was a no-brainer, man. Rhino, he was showing up. Rhino was showing up. But yeah, man. Yeah, I thought Rhino was great in Violent by Design. I thought he was really great in Violent by Design. And he made the group stronger too, man. He made the group stronger. So I don't know what they're gonna do with Violent by Design. Are they gonna add another person? Maybe, probably not. But yeah, that's pretty much it with Violent by Design. Now with Violent by Design, they have to regroup, man. They have to regroup. Whether it's add another person, I don't know. But Rhino, he was great in Violent by Design. He was really great in Violent by Design. But yeah, man. So yeah, Heath and Rhino are back. And now with these guys, I'll probably send them after the tag team titles. With a win over Violent by Design, who are former World Tag Team Champions. That's what I would do. I'll send them after the world titles, the tag team titles. But yeah, man, that was it with the match, man. That was it with the match. And so yeah, man. So right after that, man, we had Gia Miller. She interviews Jordan Grace, who is the first ever and new digital media champion. So at first, man, I didn't even know they had a pre-show. And of course, I didn't watch the pre-show because I was watching AEW Dynamite. But yeah, man, so Jordan Grace, she won the Digital Media Championship. And also in that match, Tenille Dashwood, she got replaced by Madison Rayne. And yeah, so Tenille Dashwood, she wasn't able to compete. And so yeah, man, so Jordan Grace, she had thanked Ellering for everything, for being by her side, through the toughest times and all that stuff. And so Grace, she had said that she's the first ever Triple Crown Knockouts. She won the Knockouts Championship, Grace did, and she won the Impact Knockouts Tag Team Championship, and now she's the Digital Media Championship, or the Digital Media Champion. And so yeah, man. So Moose and W Morrissey. So they talked about the Call Your Shot Gauntlet. Rachel Ellering was. And so yeah, man. So we had Moose and W Morrissey. They interrupted the interview and they said that, Ellering, you're not gonna win this Call Your Shot. You're not gonna win this Call Your Shot Gauntlet match. Like, what makes you think that you're gonna win this match when me and W Morrissey are in this match? And so yeah, man. So Moose, he has said that it's either him or W Morrissey winning that Call Your Shot Gauntlet. And so Morrissey, he had told Moose, it's not gonna be you. It's not gonna be you. It's not gonna be you, Moose. And so Moose, he was like, you know what? I like that attitude. I like that type of mindset. And so yeah, man. So that was pretty much it with that. And so right after that, man, we had the Call Your Shot. We had the Call Your Shot Gauntlet match. And so yeah, man. So this is basically like the Royal Rumble. This is kind of like the Royal Rumble, but like the mixed Royal Rumble. So you had women competing you had the Knockouts competing in the Call Your Shot Gauntlet too. So yeah, man. So first off, we had Chris Sabin, who came out as number 1, and we had Rocky Romero from New Japan Pro Wrestling. He came out too, and so yeah, I guess you can say that New Japan talent. But I thought they were gonna feature like the top stars in New Japan going into this Bound for Glory show. But yeah, man. But Chris Sabin and Rocky Romero, they started off, and so Sabin, he came out to new theme music. And so yeah, man. So both of these guys, they were going back and forth with strikes. And then our next entrant was Madman Fulton. And then Fulton, he took out Sabin and Romero. And then our next entrant was Rohit Raju. And then Rocky and Sabin, they double team Raju. Swinging neck breaker to Sabin from Raju. And then Rohit Raju and Fulton, they teamed up at one point. And our next entrance was Tasha Steelz. So this is our first knockouts in this Call Your Shot gauntlet. And so Tasha Steelz, she attacked Rocky Romero and Chris Sabin. And so Rocky Romero got eliminated by Rohit Raju. So this is our first elimination. And then our next entrant came out, Rachel Ellering. So Rachel Ellering came out, she took out Tasha Steelz. And then we had a TKO to Tasha Steelz from Ellering. And then at one point we had Fulton, he almost got eliminated. And so Raju, he held on to Fulton's hair to try to avoid elimination. So Rohit Raju almost got eliminated too. So he held on to Fulton's hair to avoid the elimination. And so yeah, so Fulton, he did end up getting eliminated. So Fulton got eliminated by Chris Sabin and Rachel Ellering. And so our next entrant came out, Savannah Evans. And so yeah, man, so Savannah Evans, she took out, Savannah Evans and Tasha Steelz, they took out Rachel Ellering. And then our next entrant came out, Johnny Swinger. And so Johnny Swinger, he was dancing out to the ring. And so Evans got eliminated by Rachel Ellering. And then Rachel Ellering got eliminated by Tasha Steelz. And then Swinger, he was dancing in the ring, and so Tasha Steelz took out Johnny Swinger. And so our next entrant came out, Melina. So Melina came out from NWA. And so yeah, Melina, she took out Steelz. And then our next entrant came out, the Demon. So yeah, I mentioned the Demon earlier. Did not know who he was. When I first saw him. When I heard the name, the Demon, I was like, man, who is this guy? Is he from Kiss? Like, who is he? And so yeah. And I was wondering, like, do anybody know who this guy is? And so apparently he was in WCW. And so yeah, man. So yeah, did not know who he was. And so yeah, man. So yeah, the Demon came out, and so Swinger thought it was Gene Simmons from Kiss. And so yeah, so Swinger wanted the Demon's autograph because he thought it was Gene Simmons from Kiss. And so Demon signs the notepad that Swinger had, and then Johnny Swinger got eliminated by the Demon. And so our next entry came out, the most professional wrestler, Brian Myers. And so yeah, so Myers, he had a flatliner to Sabin. And so the Demon and Myers, they were going back and forth at one point. And then our next entry came out, Always Ready. Matt Cardona came out. Cardona took out the Learning Tree because they were out there too. And so yeah, man, so Cardona and Myers, they were going back and forth. They have no love loss. They have a long history together. And so yeah, man, our next entrant came out, Laredo Kid. So Laredo Kid came out. We had a swinging DDT to Raju from Kid, and then Steelz got eliminated by Melina, and then Melina got eliminated by Brian Myers. So yeah, when Melina got eliminated by Brian Myers, man, she landed nasty, man. You had a thump on that ring apron. She landed right on top of that ring apron. So that was a nasty elimination from that nasty landing from the Melina. Just the way that she landed on that ring apron was freaking brutal. And so yeah, man, so our next entrant came out, Sam Bill. So Sam Bill came out, he attacked Cardona. You would think he would attack Brian Myers because Brian Myers had cut him. He had cut him from the Learning Tree. And so yeah, man, so Bill, he took out Cardona. And so Bill and Myers was teaming up against Cardona. And so our next entrant came out, Rich Swann. And then Swann, he took out Bill and Myers. And so yeah, man, so Myers, he got eliminated by Sam Bill. So that's payback, man. That's payback for Sam Bill. So Sam Bill got his payback. He got his revenge because Brian Myers eliminated him from that number one contenders battle royal or something like that. Yeah, that battle royal, that number one contenders battle royal for that Impact World Championship that Brian Myers had won. And so yeah, man, so our next entrant came out, Ace Austin. And so yeah, man, so Ace Austin came out, he took out Raju. And so Ace Austin, he eliminated the Demon. So the Demon is eliminated by Ace Austin. And then we had a swinging neck breaker, man. Swinging neck breaker to Austin from Swann. And so our next entrant came out, Moose. So Moose came out next. Moose took out Swann. And then, Bill tried to take out Moose. Dumb move from Bill. And so, yeah, Moose, he had powerbomb. Sam Bill over the top rope, and he powerbombed him right on top of the learning tree. So Sam Bill is eliminated by Moose. And so our next entrant came out, Eddie Edwards. So Eddie Edwards is back. And so, yeah, man, so Laredo Kid got eliminated by Eddie Edwards. And so we had a tope suicida to Moose from Eddie Edwards. And, none of them are eliminated. They're not eliminated because they went through the ropes. You got to go over the top rope to be eliminated. And so, yeah, man, so we had Moose. They were outside the ring. They powerbomb. Moose had powerbomb Eddie Edwards on the ring apron. And so our next entrant came out, Alicia Edwards. So she came out, and then Alicia Edwards brought out kendo sticks, and Moose took the kendo sticks away from Alicia. And so Alicia and Eddie, they ended up hitting Moose with the kendo sticks, so they double teamed Moose. And so, yeah, man, so our final entrant came out, W. Morrissey, who won his final spot in that battle royal on Impact. And so, yeah, man, so Eddie Edwards and Alicia, they tried to take out Morrissey. And then Alicia got eliminated by Morrissey. And then Edwards, he got eliminated by Morrissey with a big boot. Kicked his freaking head off, man. And so, yeah, man, so Rohit Raju, he tried to team up with Moose and W. Morrissey. But Moose and Morrissey had eliminated Raju. And so, yeah, man, so, yeah, so Ace Austin, he got eliminated. So, yeah, Ace Austin got eliminated too. So Ace Austin got eliminated by Chris Sabin. And Austin, he landed awkwardly, man. I saw him grab at his shoulder, so hope he's okay, man. And so, yeah, man, so Fulton, he came out and he took out Sabin, dropped him with a flatliner, or the end of days. And so, yeah, man, so Sabin, he got eliminated by Moose and W. Morrissey. And so, yeah, Cardona hit a radio silence to Moose. We had a big boot to Cardona from Morrissey. And then W. Morrissey and then W. Morrissey and Rich Swann got eliminated by Moose. So W. Morrissey tried to eliminate Swann, but Moose eliminated both of these guys. And so the final two are Cardona and Moose. So Matt Cardona and Moose were in the final two. So eliminations don't count. So it's going to be pinfall and submission. Pinfall and submission to win the match. So, yeah, man. Moose, he had a pump kick to Cardona. We had a lariat to Moose. And then to end the match, man, we had a spear. We had a spear to Cardona to win the match. So Moose wins the Call Your Shot Gauntlet Trophy. And so, yeah, man, so that was pretty much it, man. That was pretty much it with that. And so, yeah, man, so Moose, keep that in mind. Moose. And the Call Your Shot Gauntlet Trophy. And so, yeah, man, so right after that, man, we had Gia Miller. She interviews Heath and Rhino. And so, yeah, man, so Heath, he said that Rhino showed up at the right time. Even though, he didn't show up at the beginning, but he did show up at the right time. And so Rhino, he said that while everybody gave up on Heath, Heath is the only guy that never gave up on Rhino. And so Rhino, he has said that, tell your kids that Uncle Rhino is back. And so, yeah, man, that was pretty much it with that, man. Pretty much it. And so, yeah, man, so right after that, man, we had the tag team title match. We had the Triple Threat Impact World Tag Team title match. And it was the Bullet Club, so that's Chris Bay and Hikuleo versus Finjuice. That's David Finlay and Juice Robinson versus the Good Brothers, so that's Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson, who are the Impact World Tag Team Champions. And so, yeah, man, so Bay and Finlay, they're going back and forth, so that was some nice stuff. We had a Squad and Senton of Bay from Juice. And then, yeah, man, Gallows and Hikuleo, they're going at it. And then we had a vertical delayed suplex to Finlay from Hikuleo. And so, yeah, man, we had a huge back body drop to Bay from Juice, so Bay went flying. And so, yeah, man, Juice hit his jabs on Anderson. We had a gut buster to Bay from Juice. And then we had a DDT to Juice from Bay. And so, yeah, at that point, everybody was hitting each other with their signature moves. And we had a cannonball. We had a cannonball to Bay from Juice. And so, yeah, man, to end the match, man, we had a Power and Glory spot to Bay from Finjuice. So we had the old Power and Glory tag team finishing move, the superplex, followed up by a frog splash combo move. So while that move happened, Anderson, he got the blind tag. He got a blind tag in the match, and so he stole the pin. He stole the pin from the Finjuice guys. So the Good Brothers wins the match and are still the Impact World Tag Team Champions. So yeah, man. Yeah, I was going with the Bullet Club to win, man. I was going with the Bullet Club to win the tag team titles. That's what I was going with. So we can have this feud with the Elite and the Bullet Club. But it looks like we're not gonna have it. Looks like we're not gonna have the feud, man. You know, from what I heard, the Impact and AEW partnership is ending. It said it was ending after Bound for Glory. That's what I heard. But yeah, probably was the best. Probably was the best for these for them to end their relationship because nobody from Impact showed up on Dynamite. Nobody besides the Good Brothers and Don Callis, and that was just about it. No moves, no like nobody else but those guys, the Good Brothers and Don Callis. But yeah, man, that was it, man. That was it with that. And so yeah, man. So right after that, man, we had Gia Miller. She interviews Christian Cage, who was the Impact World Champion. And so yeah, so Gia she had asked Christian Cage about any final thoughts before the tonight's match, championship match. And so Cage he had said that he made Impact in what it is today. And so Cage he said that he's not ready to pass the torch yet. You know, he has a lot to prove. You know, he's not ready to pass the torch yet. And so yeah, so Cage he has said that Alexander he hasn't proven anything. He hasn't proven anything. Josh Alexander has not proven anything, and he's not ready. He's not ready to hold this championship. He's not ready. And so yeah, man. So that was pretty much it. And so yeah, man. So that was the main event. And so yeah, man. So right after that, man, we had another championship match, and it was for the Impact Knockouts Championship match. So yeah, man, this is the one thing I did not agree with, man. The outcome of this match, I did not agree with it. But yeah, man. So we had Mickie James, Hardcore Country, Mickie James versus the Virtuosa, Deonna Purrazzo, who is the Impact, who is the Reina de Reinas champion, and the Impact Knockouts champion. So yeah, man. So James. So yeah, James. She went right after Purrazzo while the referee was holding up the title. You know how the referee just hold up the title for a championship match. Mickie James went right after Purrazzo, and so they were fighting outside the ring. The bell didn't ring yet. And so we had a pump kick to James, and then both were in the ring, and so the bell had rung, and then Purrazzo took control of the match, and then we had a power bomb to James, and then we had a double cross body, so they took each other out with double cross bodies, and so yeah, so they were both going back and forth with strikes, flapjack to Purrazzo, Davantes press to Purrazzo, kicks out, and then we had a pump kick to James, and then we had a jumping DDT to Purrazzo. So that was Mickie James' finishing move. So James, she wasted time. She wasted time by going for the cover, but she went for the cover, and Purrazzo kicks out. So yeah, that was a close one right there. And so we had our armbar submission move to James, and then Purrazzo locked in the Venus de Malo to James, and then James put a foot on the rope. And so yeah, this spot, I thought this was it, man. I thought this spot was it. I thought this would have been the end of the match. So we had Purrazzo. She went for an assisted Queen's Gambit. So she hit the Queen's Gambit to James off of the rope, and she kicked out. James had kicked out of the Queen's Gambit. And so at that point, I was like, what? And so yeah, everybody couldn't believe it. The commentary team couldn't believe it. Nobody could believe it, man. Nobody could not believe it, man. And so yeah, man. So Purrazzo, at one point, she pulled out a chair from under the ring, and so the referee took the chair away from her. And so we had a Davantes press on the referee from James, so that was an accident. So Mickie James accidentally took out the referee. And so yeah, man, so Purrazzo tried to use the chair. Mickie James had kicked the chair in Purrazzo's face, and then Purrazzo kicked out because James went for the cover and Purrazzo kicks out. And then Purrazzo went right after James' arm. And so yeah, man, so Purrazzo, she had yanked James off of the top rope. And so yeah, man, to end the match, man, we had a tornado DDT to Purrazzo to win the match. So therefore, Mickie James wins the match and is the new Impact Knockouts champion. So that was it, man. Now, it was a great match. It was a great match. Great match, great back and forth between these two. Now, I didn't agree with this. I did not agree with this. Deonna Purrazzo never should have lost. She never should have lost that title. There was no reason to take that title off of Deonna Purrazzo. Why would you take that title off of her, man? Why? She's been the very best women's wrestler ever, and you took the title off of her, man. You took the Impact Knockouts Championship off of her. She's been the best thing about the women's division, the Knockouts. And you took the title away from her, man. You took the title away from her, and you put it on somebody that's not even in Impact Wrestling. You put the title on Mickie James. Now, like, I like Mickie James. I really do. I like Mickie James, but she should have never won that match. She had no business beating Deonna Purrazzo for that title. Like Deonna Purrazzo, she held that championship during the pandemic, bro. Held that championship during the pandemic. Up to this point, you took the title away from her. That's the one thing I didn't like. I didn't like that, man. I really didn't. Like I would have never in my life I would have took that title off from her. She had a great reign. Like look at her reign that she had, man. All the people that she beaten. And you took the title off of her just like that at Bound for Glory. Why couldn't she just win? Why couldn't she just retain her title? She has the Reign of the Day Reigners Championship. And then she had the Impact Knockouts Championship. And you took the Impact Knockouts Championship away from her. You took her main title away from her. But yeah, man, I didn't like that, man. I really didn't. But yeah, she beaten everybody that she been in the ring with. She been undefeated, man, as the champion, as she should. She retired Jazz. She ended somebody's career. And you took the title off from her. You took the title away from Deonna Purrazzo, man. You took the title. You took a championship away from your best women's wrestler on your roster. Like why? Why would you do that? But yeah, I did not like that, man. I did not like that stuff. Did not like that. Did not agree with that. Did not agree with the outcome. Deonna Purrazzo should have retained her championship. She should have retained her championship. But yeah, that was pretty much it, man. That was pretty much it with the Knockouts Championship match. Great match, but Deonna Purrazzo should have retained. She should have retained her title. But yeah, man, I don't care what nobody say, man. I don't care what nobody say. Deonna Purrazzo never should have lost. She never should have lost that title. But yeah, man, that was it, man. That was it with that. And so yeah, man. So Impact Wrestling, they announced their next pay-per-view. They announced their next pay-per-view. That's coming in on January the 8th. Now, I don't think it's the next pay-per-view, but it is the next pay-per-view. Next pay-per-view, January the 8th, and it's called Hard to Kill. So Hard to Kill will be on January 8th, and I believe it's in Dallas, Texas. And so, yeah, man, so that's pretty much it with the announcement. And so, yeah, right after that, man, we had the main event. And it was for the Impact World Championship. So it's Josh Alexander versus Christian Cage. So, yeah, man, this match right here, really great match, but I was not behind the ending, man. I was not behind the ending. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. Now, yeah, both of these guys, they try to out-wrestle each other. And then Alexander, at one point, he pushed Cage off the top rope, and Cage landed on the ring apron on the floor. And so, yeah, we had a Northern Light suplex to Cage. And then Josh Alexander tried to go for the C4 spike, but Cage, he reversed it. We had an ankle lock to Cage, and then Cage, he sent Alexander to the guardrail head first, so that had to hurt. And so, yeah, man, so Alexander was chopping Cage, and then Cage chopped him back. That's what you do, man. When somebody chop you in the chest, you chop them back. And so, yeah, man, so we had uppercuts to Alexander. And then we had a German suplex, man. German suplex to Cage on the turnbuckle. So that, yeah, also had to hurt, man. A big boot to Cage, powerbomb into a backbreaker to Cage, a reverse DDT to Alexander, sleeper hold to Alexander. He fought out of it. And then we had an over-the-top rope uppercut to Alexander and a fireman's carry senton bomb to Cage. And then we had a diving knee drop in the back of Cage's head, and he kicks out. And we had a tornado DDT to Alexander. And then Josh Alexander hit a Chaos Theory, so that's the rolling German suplex to Cage. And we had a crossface submission move to Cage, and Cage, he had bit Alexander to break up the hold. And so Alexander, he had locked in a sharpshooter to Cage, and then Cage grabbed the rope, and then Alexander, he missed the moonsault. And we had a spear to Alexander, he kicks out, diving splash to Alexander, and then we had a "This is awesome" chant. So it was, man, really good match. And so you had both of these guys, they reversed each other's signature moves, and then Cage. Yeah, Cage. Another thing with Cage, he had his shoulder taped up. So yeah, so his arm had gave up on him. His arm had gave up on him. And so yeah, man. So Cage, he locked in the ankle lock. Not Cage. Alexander, he had locked in the ankle lock on Cage to win the match. So therefore, Cage taps out. So therefore, Josh Alexander wins the match and is the new Impact World Champion, at least for right now. And so yeah, man. So yeah, awesome match, man. Great match. Now, yeah, after the match, man, after the match, we had Christian Cage. He handed the world championship to Josh Alexander. And so we had Josh Alexander. Another thing I forgot to mention, his wife and his son was there to watch the match. So they were in the crowd. They got in the ring. They celebrated with Josh Alexander. And out of nowhere, man, out of nowhere, we had Moose. We had Moose, the Call Your Shot Gauntlet trophy winner, man. Came in, cashed in his Call Your Shot Gauntlet trophy. Kind of like the Money in the Bank. So this was kind of like the Money in the Bank and the Royal Rumble. So you won the Royal Rumble to get your Money in the Bank contract. You cashed in his trophy on Josh Alexander. And yeah, Josh got his family out of there. Josh had got his family out of the ring. And so yeah, the bell had rung. Bell had rung, man. Bell had rung. And yeah, so Moose, he had a spear. He had a spear on Josh Alexander to win the match. So Moose wins the match and is the new Impact World Champion. So Moose is the new Impact World Champion. So yeah, so Josh Alexander, he was the new Impact World Champion for now. And then Moose had cashed in his Call Your Shot trophy, and he became the newer Impact World Champion. So yeah, man, I was shocked, man. I was absolutely shocked. I was shocked, man. I really was, man. Like, yeah, at first I thought that, Josh Alexander, he was gonna win he was gonna win the match. He did end up winning the match. And then I thought he was gonna have like a title defense, like a successful title defenses against, this guy and then another guy, and then Moose would come along and cash in his Call Your Shot Gauntlet trophy. That's what I thought was gonna happen. But yeah, the one thing I didn't like was the fact how they treated Josh Alexander. He won a championship, and then you had him lose the championship in seconds. That's the one thing I didn't like about that. I'm happy that Moose won the championship. I'm happy that Moose won the championship. I'm glad and proud that he's a world champion finally. But man, they did Josh Alexander wrong, man. They did him wrong, in the process. Like we could have had a great title feud with Moose and Josh Alexander. Like I didn't like that has to be the shortest Impact Wrestling World Champion title reign ever. The shortest reign ever. That like you do that to your world champion. You do that to your world championship. You hot potato your championship to another guy. Yeah, that's the one thing I didn't like, man. That's another thing I didn't like about this show. Was that the match was fine. The match was great. But the way that they treated Josh Alexander, man, was so wrong, man. It was wrong. But I'm glad that Moose won a championship. Glad that Moose won a championship, but I did not know he was going to win it that way. Like, I would have never done that to my world champion. Have him win a championship, have a world champion win a title, and then have him lose it in seconds. Have him lose the title in seconds, bro. But yeah, man. I don't know, man. But yeah, with this, man, it made Moose a mega heel. It made Moose a mega heel because, Josh, he was laying down on his back, and his family was comforting him. Moose was standing over his body with his family there too, so they had to make Moose a mega heel. But yeah, man. But yeah, like they did him wrong. They did Josh Alexander wrong, like based off his story and everything, doing it for his family, his upbringing, how he got into wrestling, the injuries and all that stuff. The time where he thought that his wrestling career was over. You pissed on all that stuff. You pissed on all of it. And you have him lose the championship in seconds. But yeah, man. Like they took away his moment, dude. He didn't get a chance to celebrate. But yeah, I don't know who thought that was the right idea. But that was wrong, man. The way that they treated Josh Alexander. He could have at least held that championship. He could have at least held a champ. He should have at least got a title defense, man. He didn't get no title defense. He just held the championship for seconds. And Moose cashed in his Call Your Shot trophy. But yeah, man. Man, yeah, disappointing, man. Really disappointing. Really disappointing, man. But yeah, man. That was it with Impact, man. That was it with Bound for Glory. That was it. That was it. But yeah, man. That's what I would have done. That's what I would have done. I would have had Josh Alexander defend his championship against this guy and another guy and another guy, and then have Moose cash in his Call Your Shot trophy on Josh Alexander. But yeah, that was quick, man. That was quick. I didn't know how to feel about it, dude. Like when it first happened, I didn't know how to feel about it. Like when Moose cashed in his Money in the Bank, not his Money in the Bank, his Call Your Shot trophy. Yes, I was happy. I was happy for Moose. I've been calling for Moose to win the world championship for the longest. And then, Like, I ain't know how to feel about it. Yes, I'm happy for Moose, but they did Josh Alexander wrong, man, in the process by having him hold the championship for seconds. He won a championship from Christian Cage. Christian Cage handed him the championship. And you had this guy lose the championship in seconds right after he beat Christian Cage in a hard fought win. And you have him lose it to Moose in seconds. I don't know, man. I don't know. But yeah, man. Yeah, that was it, man. That was it. Like, if you're gonna do that, man, if you're gonna give the Call Your Shot Gauntlet Trophy to Moose, then you should have had Christian Cage retain the title. You could have had him retain the title and just had Moose cash it in. That's what I would have done. If you know, like, dude, if they would have went the other way, then probably nobody would have been complaining about it. Nobody would have been complaining about it. You know, like, dude, you messed it up. You messed it up. If that was gonna be the case, if you're gonna have Moose cash it in, you could have just had Christian Cage retain the title. You could have had Christian Cage retain, and then had Moose cash it in on Christian Cage, and then have Moose win the title, and then we could have got a Josh Alexander and Moose match, or you know, a rematch between Christian Cage and Moose for the title. That's what I would have done. That's what I would have done. If I would have known that Moose would have, like, if I would have known that Moose was cashing in his Call Your Shot trophy, I would have had Christian Cage retain the title. I would have had him retain the title, and then everybody would have been questioning, like, hey, you know, why did Christian Cage retain his championship? And then Moose cashing his money, and then Moose cashing his trophy, and we're like, oh, I see. Yes, now I see why he cashed in. Now I see why Christian Cage retained his title. Yes, I see why he retained his championship. Because if Josh Alexander would have won a championship, you would have been hot potato in the championship. But they did that exact thing. They had him they hot potato that world championship, and that was it. But yeah, I was not a fan of that, man. I was not a fan of that. If that was going to be the case, then you should have had Christian Cage retain the title. Could have had him retain the title, and then have Moose cash in the briefcase or the trophy. But yeah, man, that was it, man. That was it with Impact Wrestling, Bound for Glory. Very disappointing. Very disappointing show. You know, we had some great matches on this show. Don't get me wrong. We had some great matches on this show, but the outcomes, man, the outcomes were very, very disappointing. Very disappointing. I did not agree with most of this stuff on this show. Did not agree with it. You know, but we did get some great things out of this. We had Trey Miguel winning the X Division Championship. I'm very proud of that, man. And yeah, but that's just about it, man. That's just about it. But yeah, that was it with Impact Wrestling Bound for Glory. And yeah, man, if you like this video, man, hit the thumbs up, man. Hit the thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, if you're watching D. Ryan Awesome Show for the first time ever, hit that subscribe button. And then right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell to be the first ones to know when my next video is uploaded, because I'm here each and every single week. Follow me on Twitter at Ryan Awesome Show. And yeah, man, and yeah, subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Twitter. Share this video with each and every single person that you come across. As always, thank you for the support. Thank you, and thank you, my awesome ones. And if you miss anything, man, if you missed last week's episode of AEW Dynamite or last week's review of AEW Dynamite, video's gonna be right up here in this corner. Video's gonna be right up here in this corner. The link to that video will be down below in the description. Now, if you missed the go home show before Impact Wrestling Bound for Glory, the video's gonna be right up here in this corner, and the link to that video will be down below in the description. So yeah, man. So check it out. And so yeah, man. And yeah, and I'll see you guys on Wednesday, man. I'll see you guys on Wednesday for AEW Dynamite. And yeah, man. And as always, thank you for the support. And yeah, man. And this has been the Ryan Awesome Show. And that's been AEW Dynamite for October the 23rd, 2021. And Bound for Glory, Impact Wrestling Bound for Glory 2021. And yeah, man. And this has been the Ryan Awesome Show. Take care, stay safe, and don't forget to be awesome. And that's that.